Let's have a good time. All we gotta do is get cheap. Gotta get Jesus on your mind. Listen, everybody, we gotta get with one accord. Jesus will be there. You can count on Lord. Thank Him because you do. Praise Him because you. Come on, let's have a good time. Come on, let's have a good time. I wonder, could I say it again? Come on, children, let's have a good time. All we gotta do is get cheap. Gotta get cheap on your mind. Listen, everybody, we gotta get with one God. Jesus will be there. You can count on Lord. Thank Him because you do. Praise Him because you. Come on, let's have a good time. Come on, let's have a good time. I got one more thing I want to tell you. Somebody's here, sitting here today. They won't do nothing, ain't got nothing to say. But if I were you, I wouldn't cheat myself. If they don't want to go, I can't wait for nobody else. Thank Him because you do. Praise Him because you. Come on, let's have a good time. Come on, let's have a good time. Come on, let's have a good time.
Come on, children, let's have a good time. Well, I am Pastor George Crout, Word of Faith International Ministry. And I just thank God for rmcgospel.com. I thank God for this opportunity to be able to reach so many people all over the land and country. And we are going to have a good time here today. I have some special guests who will be coming in, some of them here. And I'm looking forward to meet my good friend, Dr. Johnson. Looking forward to meeting him. I first met him at the VA several years ago. But we are going to have a wonderful time here, and thank God. And we're going to move right along. You know, it's getting close to Easter, and we're going to talk about different kinds of faith. You know what Hebrew 11 tells us. So faith is the substance of things hoped for and evidence of things that's not seen. You can't see it, but you can feel it. Hallelujah, you can feel it. And we begin to think about the different kinds of faith. You have the powerful faith. We have many, many different kinds of faith here. And you have a simple faith, and you have our struggling faith. My goodness, all kinds of faith. We look at one thing here about faith. The Bible tells us it is impossible to please God without faith. And if you don't have that kind of faith, you can't please God. And we begin to look at some of the scriptures here about what happened during this time frame. We know Easter, just like I say, is just right around the corner. And I had to search the calendar a couple of times for myself to find out, wait a minute, Easter is coming in March. Yeah, I forgot this February had 29 days too. So we thank God that it's moving on. We're going to praise God anyway. And I'm looking forward for my guests to come. They can come in. If they hear, you can tell them, come on in. Praise be to God. And we look here at several things here. Things that intangible. You know, some people, the reason why they are constantly struggling because they don't have enough faith. You know, if you don't have the faith, how you think God is going to heal you? How you think God is going to deliver you if you don't have that faith? You know, some people just want to have a pity party for themselves and want to sit down and want everybody to feel sorry for them. But see, one thing about it, you have to live your own lifestyle. Your mother can't do it. Your father can't do it. Your parents can't do it. You have to do it for yourself. And I'm so glad this is an individual thing. You know, you just got to have that faith that won't give up. And we begin to look at some of the things biblical here about faith, simple faith. All things are possible with God. All things is possible, not impossible. All things is possible with God. And we think about how he has blessed us down through the years up until now. And we know, like I say, Easter is just right around the corner. And some people's going out for this Easter and going to spend all kinds of money. It's good to look good, but then where is your salvation? So your heart has to be right too. So you can go to church with all kinds of expensive clothes and stuff like that, but if you don't have Jesus down in your heart, you just another devil sitting up in the church. Amen. But we're going to move right along here. We're going to talk about another thing here. I am so grateful and so thankful for rmcgospel.com. Some of you that is listening now, I've had some callers from Pensacola and different places, Memphis, Tennessee, and I can just continue to name. So what you do, you click on rmcgospel.com on YouTube or whatever, and you pick up this program, and you can hit replay, and then you can pick up the program after the show is over with. Some people say, well, I don't know how to do that. Well, then I'm telling you how to do that. And also, you can call here, 323-965-1600. That's the phone number. If you want to talk to some of the guests that's going to be coming on pretty soon, the number is 323-965-1600. Okay. We begin to understand one thing here. See, a lot of people go to church, but they lost in the house. You know why I'm saying they lost in the house? Because when they go to church, they are looking at what everybody have on. They are not listening at what the word is going forward, telling them. And if you want to be get something out of the word of God, you have to go there with a clear mind and a clear conscience, and let the word meditate in your heart. The Bible says day and night. And so we have to understand one thing here. We begin to look at when Peter denied Jesus. See, Jesus told him, and when they had sung a hymn, they went up into the Mount of Olives, and Jesus said unto them, all these shall be offended because of me this night. For it is written, I will smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered. Jesus talking about himself, but after that I have risen, I will go before you in Galilee. But Peter said unto him, although all shall offend thee, yet will not I? But Jesus said unto him, verily I say unto you, this day, even in this night, before the cock crow twice, you shall deny me. And Peter denied even Jesus in his prosecution and resurrection. Peter denied him. So he was going along with the crowd, and they said, are you one of them? So he denied him. He said, no, I'm not one of them. But they speak the more things that shoot with me. And you begin to think about Jesus prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane, and they came a place which was named Gethsemane, and he said unto the disciples, sit here while I pray. And they taken him with Peter and James and John, began to so amazed that they very heavily, and said unto them, thy soul is exceedingly sorrow. Close that door. Exceedingly sorrow. And they went forward a little and fell on their ground and prayed that there were possible the hour might pass from them. See, this is one thing that Jesus knew he had to do. He knew he had to give up his life for us. He knew that. So his Father, God knew his only begotten Son. He loved the world so until he gave his only begotten Son. And we have to understand one thing here. How many of us would make that sacrificial or sacrifice offering, something like that? Not a single person. They tell you, yes, I would do that. No, you wouldn't. You would not do that. And when it was amazing very heavily, and then said, the death watch, and went forward a little while and fell on the ground and prayed that we were possible the hour may pass from him. But see, the hour, Jesus knew that he had to die for us. And I thank God he died for us, for a restless sinner like us. And that's why we should be serious about praising and worshiping God. And when we begin to praise and worship in God, it is so grateful and so amazing. We're going to listen at a little song, and then we're going to keep on moving on this program. RMCgospel.com. Don't forget, you can call 323-965-1600. Praise be to God. He's an on-time God. Yes, he is. Do I have some very important guests here today? We have Dr. Joseph N. Jackson, Ph.D. He's an inventor. I tell you, when he started talking, your chin gonna drop down in your lap. This man is phenomenal. God really has blessed him. Oh, you better believe it. But I'm gonna let him tell you some of his accomplishments, because I started talking, I tell you everything. But put the camera on, Doctor. My good friend, Dr. Jackson here.
Okay.
You got it on there? Well, you know, like I say, I haven't seen you in a few years. Last time I saw you, we was at VA together.
Yes, yes.
And God has blessed you so tremendously
Oh, yes, He has. Yes, He
since
has.
then.
Yes, He
And
has.
I just thank God for that. And I just wish we had more people like you.
Thank you. Thank
You know, so the thing about it, the reason why a lot of people don't accomplish their goals is because they're afraid.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And so I was just talking about faith. You know, you have to walk by faith and not by sight.
That's it.
And so, because, you know, while you trying to accomplish and achieve some of your goals, the devil always going to step in and say,
Absolutely.
you can't do this, you can't do that.
That's it.
And you know, both when we both was in the military, and they said certain things you couldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I started off with civil engineers, the CBs, construction battalion. Then I went into recruiting, and I was the #1 recruiter in the whole United States in 1984. They said you
okay.
couldn't do it. Don't tell me what you can't do. See, a lot of times people don't want to work hard to get things accomplished.
Yeah.
Nobody gonna give you anything. It's just
okay.
like any kind of sports. You know, if those guys didn't get out there and play their best, or either a singer.
That's
if you
true.
don't give it your best, you're not going to do anything.
That's true. That's true.
And people need to understand that. And I am so proud of your accomplishment. Oh my God! And when he started telling you these things, I know you people are going to just, your chin gonna fall down in your lap. And when he come on, I want everybody listening. This is the number you can call and talk direct to Dr. Jackson. 323-965-1600. And let me say this again. After this, now you need to call if you want to speak to them directly before the program is over with, or you can click on rmcgospel.com replay after the show is over with, and the show is over with at 5 o'clock. So, but we still have a lot of time. I'm going to allow them all the time that they need today, because he's a dear friend of mine, you know, to get this thing off the ground. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to let them tell you what they have to offer, and it's just phenomenal, unbelievable. We're waiting on another guest here, Evangelist McCullen. We're waiting on her, and somebody else too, isn't it, Dr. Jackson?
Yeah, there's a Winston Jones, my CEO.
Uh-huh.
I mean COO
Uh-huh.
for my company. Yes, he's coming.
Oh, good, good. Well, we're gonna chat. Like I said, we still have plenty of time.
Okay.
So this is basically open to you, because you know, I can come on anytime. But I am excited about this myself, because you're talking about teenagers and stuff like that.
Yes,
I won't
yes.
spill the beans.
Yes. Well, there's a lot to talk about.
Yes,
when
yeah.
we get into that.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, when you and I came up, you didn't see no young girls walking around here 12, 13 years old pregnant.
No.
You know,
no,
because
no,
our
no.
parents, we from a different breed.
Whole different.
Yeah,
different,
and our parents, they raised us right too.
That's it,
And,
that's
and
it.
the guys didn't want to go out and get nobody pregnant, because the thing about it, back then when we came along, they had what you call shotgun. with it.
Absolutely. Yeah, Daddy didn't play. Daddy didn't play. He didn't.
Yeah, and if you got somebody pregnant, because I know a friend of mine got this girl pregnant, man, I'm not going to marry her. He came up to the house with his shotgun. And guess what? They still married today.
They're still married today. That's it. That's it.
He was forced to do
Daddy
that.
didn't play that.
No, both of them went to college and and all that. But you know, you can accomplish anything you want to if you just put
Absolutely.
your mind to it.
Absolutely.
You know, and people, the thing about it, the reason why again people is not successful, they're afraid of failure.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that we did in our life, we didn't just was successful right then. We had some downfalls too.
That's so true.
But all you have to do is
Absolutely.
just get up and just keep going.
That's true.
And people need to understand that this is a blessing and a privilege here again. We're going to put on another little song here, and we're going to keep on, a song said, keep on trucking.
Okay. Okay.
we sitting up here having a good time talking about both of us used to be recruiters. Oh my goodness gracious, we are having a good time here. And again, you can call Dr. Jackson right here and speak to him and his staff. The number is 323-965-1600. You can call, but I tell you, you're going to be surprised when he starts telling you about how God has blessed him with all of his inventions. It's a blessing. And the thing, we were just talking a moment ago, a lot of time, people, when they fail once, Dr. Jackson, they'll give up.
That's absolutely true.
And the thing about it, the race is not given to the swift, but the one that endured until the end.
You're absolutely right.
And people need to know that too.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And that's in anything that you do in life. You have a lot of these big-time evangelists and pastors and stuff. They didn't start off just like this. They had to prepare themselves.
Absolutely.
And it's just like any kind of business. Any kind of business, you just can't start off and be at the top within 3 months.
That's true.
It's impossible.
That's true.
And so you have to work at that, and you have to plan. And the thing about it, people don't want to take time and use strategy. They don't want to take time and plan things. And when you begin to plan things, that's when things begin to just turn around.
Absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
begin to turn around.
That's so true.
I tell you, I am having a good time. I wouldn't trade this moment for nothing. My good friend here, I haven't seen him in a long time. Wow. Boy, I tell you, it's a blessing and it's a privilege. And I'm going to tell you, you people that's out in the radio land, listen now. We have a great African-American inventor right here in this station here, and his whole staff will be here within the next 10 minutes. I told him, I said, don't worry about the time, because see, I can kick my time back to next broadcast.
Yes.
The main thing is I'm a giving person, I'm a helping person, and everybody know me. That's the way I am.
Well, you have what they call that can-do spirit, see.
Watch out now. That's the CB.
Yeah, that can-do spirit is what's going to be required to get anything accomplished. And if I get a chance, I will tell you a little joke about that can-do spirit. Whenever you're ready, I can tell that. And it's really something.
Yes.
But it reminds people, that they can do anything.
That's true.
Anything.
And if you look at the spiritual side, you can do all things through
That's
the
true.
Christ that strengthens you.
Well, that's true.
And a lot of time, people they walking by sight and not by faith.
Yes.
And
you see, Elder. A lot of people forget that when we all come here, we come here with 5 senses, all of us. And then from that point on, everything is learned. So we all come here equipped, to be able to do something now. Let's just take, here's a man up in the Bay Area, standing looking across the bay, and he says, there should be a bridge across here. Well, now, if you think about that, that thought was smaller than the head of a pin. And he went home and he mentioned to his brother, there should be a bridge across this bay. It was in the 20s, right?
wow.
And his brother said, how you going to put something across that? All that water and all that, He didn't let that deter him. He went and talked with somebody at the city, the county, the state, and federal. And you go up to San Francisco now, you can't miss the Golden Gate Bridge.
You sure can't. You sure
see,
can't.
and now if you think about it, the thought, though, was smaller than the head of a pin when he first thought it up. But then everything started coming together from one person, then 2, and then 3. And then finally they got the coalition together. The Golden Gate Bridge been up there all these years. And
Sure
it's very
has.
functional across that water, see? So I always believe that when God created the heaven and earth, he created everything in it.
Exactly.
And there's certain people on earth that he gives the wherewithal to bring certain physical things into manifestation, okay? And they call us inventors, okay? And that's my belief, okay?
Well, and another thing too, the reason why a lot of people is not successful, they lazy.
Yeah, that's it.
Just like you talking about the invention of the Golden State Bridge. You have to put these ideas into reality.
Absolutely.
And then once you put these ideas into reality, then you'll have something to work with.
Well, that's it.
Look
that's
how
it.
far you have come. See, when
That's it.
whoever thought about, I'm gonna have to tell this here.
Okay, go right ahead.
The TV remote control, VCR timer, cable TV blocking device, TV, what's that?
Okay, cable blocking device,
Uh-huh.
a TV parental control.
That's hold it right there.
Yeah.
That means you can block something that your kids shouldn't be
There
watching.
you go. I was first to originate the parental control because we were having violent and objectionable programming on TV,
Uh-huh.
and we needed a means whereby you could use family could program the TV to block out
Uh-huh.
various programs at various times that mom may not want their children to see. That was of that adult nature or of a violent nature. See,
Uh-huh.
and so I came up with that particular technology.
Uh-huh. Praise God. 'Cause I think some of the other people just come in, you tell them come right on in. Amen. Tell them to come right on in. Good afternoon. God bless you. Come on over here, my brother, and have a seat over here.
Thank you.
This is your show.
My show.
This is your show. We're having a good time here.
Yes.
We're going to play a little more music, and then we're going to get back. We're going to give them the whole 25 minutes. How about that? That's nice, isn't it?
That's very nice. You can say a whole lot in that amount.
Yes, let's go ahead and play a little music here.
Hey, 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 yeah. Oh my, you know what? I've seen too many victories to let defeat have the last word. Yeah, I've seen too many victories to let defeat have the last word. I'll tell you that I've seen too many victories to let defeat have the last word. I tell you that I've seen too many victories to let defeat have the last word. Hear this. When I wake up in the morning and I realize that I'm still here, that lets me know that God gave me favor, no matter what circumstances reveal. He brought me through my pain and sorrow, reassured me I got hope for tomorrow. Defeat can't compete with mercy and grace. Oh no, if I just keep faith, I can win this race. I've seen over to let defeat have the last word. I've seen, yes I had to, just can't let defeat have the last word. When I think of His goodness and all He's done for me, dare not complain. 'Cause He brought me over the rugged hill and all of my heartaches and pain. Well, I understand trials come to make me strong. Gotta stay in the race, y'all. I gotta keep pressing on. This is my testimony to you. I got victory, even though I don't look like what I've been through. I sing to victory. I just can't let defeat have the last word. Oh, I sing to victory. I can't let defeat have the last word. Listen, y'all, when I wake up in the morning.
Okay, now this is what everybody been waiting for. Everybody been waiting for this. So you're going to get it. Now, if you have any questions, please call 323-965-1600. Dr. Joseph N. Jackson, Ph.D., so I'm going to turn him loose. Both these young men, this is
Winston Jones, sir.
Dr. Winston Jones. So I'm going to turn these two young men loose, and they can go ahead and tell you everything that you needs to hear.
Okay. My name is Dr. Jackson, and I'm an inventor, and I invented the programmable remote control and several other items that we'll be able to discuss as we go along, okay? Now, everybody want to know, how do you invent things, okay? What is that? Well, my background, I was in the Army for 20 years, and I studied radio and television at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and opened a shop. And I had a shop that I worked in the nights and weekends for about 8 years while I soldiered, okay? And learned everything I could possibly learn about electronics, all right? And then years later, I happened to get stationed here in California. I was an Army recruiter. Now, this was way back in the 70s. So long about 75, I was a recruiter at the recruiting station at Manchester, Vermont, in Los Angeles. About 75, one Saturday, I was waiting for a boxing match to come on, and it came on ABC, Wide World Sports, at 7 o'clock. And I happened to be watching Channel 4 instead of 7, about 2:30. And I kind of dozed off, and when I finally woke up, it was 3:30. So I said, the fight. I changed the channel to Channel 7. They was talking about how the guy got knocked out. Now I'm really angry because I had promised myself all week that I want to make sure I saw that fight. And it was so intense, and I was so upset about it, I just couldn't get it off of my mind. And I said, well, there should be a way that I come up with that would automatically go to that station at the appropriate time to make certain that I didn't miss it. Mm-hmm. And idea came, well, idiot, all you got to do is set a clock, and when it goes off, you know, this alarm, you can change the channel. But I said, no, I need a better way than that. So when I let it go, and then, maybe about 4 or 5 hours later, boom, it hit me. What's in a TV guide? And that was the answer. The day a program comes on, the time it comes on, and the channel it comes on. Mm-hmm. So now with that information, I have to fashion something electronically where I could put that information into an electronic system, okay? So I devised a system where I could put in the day, the time, the channel, and store it in memory and using a clock, okay? And the clock had to have as much as 336 half hours, because that's how many half hours in a week, or 168 hours in a week. And programs at that time were half hour long, hour and a half long, so I needed that much memory. So anyway, I was able to come up with a system where I could store that in and let the clock tell it when to go on, when to go off. So my program, I could set the day, the time, and then and the channel ahead of time. And then when that time came, it would automatically turn the set on and be on the appropriate channel, and you'd see the program and you wouldn't miss it, okay? Mm-hmm. So I designed a system that could go into the TV. And this is the takeoff of the programmable remote. You have a VCR, that was originated, my timer was on the VCR. The DVR that you use every day now, that's my timer. Now, the programmable remote control is what I have patents for. There was a remote out, but it could not do all the things that mine does. Mine came, when I say programmable remote, all the things that you see, it can accomplish now other than just turning it on and off and change channels. That's attributed to my patents, okay? So that's pretty much how the programmable remote timer came about. Okay. Now I have several other things here, but I don't want to hog all the time. I want to introduce my COO for my company. It's called Film Choice Technologies LLC, mm-hmm. And he is Winston Jones is our CEO, and I'll let him talk a little bit and see what he has to say.
Well, first, let me say that I'm excited to be here, sharing the platform, the stage with Dr. Jackson. This is a very, very well-known and highly respected inventor in this world. So this is not a small thing. Let me just kind of, if I may, kind of set the frame for our discussion today. we're going to talk about a major concern, a concern that involves pretty much everybody, not just in our country but the world over. And Dr. Jackson, given the same drive that he had to develop the remote control device for the television and VCRs, that same motivation or the same drive has put his heart in a position where he could come up with a device or a system that could solve the world's problems. So what I'll do, if you guys are okay with it, I'll go ahead and I'll actually state the problem according to the CDC, all right? So everybody can have a broader picture of that. And then, and also too, to make sure that we have good control of our time tonight and don't ramble. We have some questions too that I'd like to ask Dr. Jackson. So first, let me go ahead and let you all know exactly what the problem is. Now, according to the CDC, okay, or the stats that they've collected, it shows that 1.2 million, or 1 in every 10 American teenagers, are becoming pregnant out of wedlock, and 10,000 babies are born to girls under the age of 15.
Wow.
That's a pretty staggering number.
It is.
Now, nationwide, we're looking at 1.2 million aborted pregnancies that could have been reduced by using this product as well. Not to mention reducing 1.2 million sexually transmitted diseases like venereal disease, HIV, AIDS. Of course, this is an alarming situation when you take into consideration the entire program. Okay, so or all of the stats combined, you're talking about 1.2 million abortions. You're talking about 10,000 babies born out of wedlock, and of course 1.2 million pregnancies. Not to mention the diseases that are rampant, like we mentioned also, and syphilis, and there are some other STDs that are ravaging society as we speak right now. All right, so with that in mind, okay, we wanted to touch on some of the other things that are going on that affect this. Like, for example, the Republican Party, for example, or should I say, when the Republicans are advocating defund Planned Parenthood, this will only force, of course, our teens and adults to go underground. Now, the key problem with that, by the way, is it's not so much that we're advocating Planned Parenthood, but the problem is having a safe place to go to deal with this situation of unwanted pregnancy. And so most people default to, if they don't want the baby, they either give the baby away, or as you've heard in the news recently, babies being found buried in the ground in Compton, or in trash cans, or in alleys, or some other disposal method, right? Or they go to have an abortion. Well, there needs to be another solution. Okay, so this is what Dr. Jackson and I are here to represent today. So anyway, of course, there was a time when there were unlicensed office places as well, and so even the Planned Parenthood folks have had some challenges with that in the news lately, right? And our solution, Dr. Jackson's solution, actually could even take the heat off them, so to speak, and allow them to turn the corner on that and lead with a different solution as opposed to aborting babies, right? So let me just go ahead and move on over to the next thing. Now, these statistics, okay, they are what we call an urgent call to our clergy, our hospitals, our school districts, and to Congress, right? Because people only thinking in dollars and cents and not necessarily thinking in human lives. So the clergy needs to lead the way, and then of course hospitals and the schools, and because the reason we mention clergy and hospitals first, because they have a pledge to take care of people. That you have the Hippocratic Oath with regard to doctors, and of course the clergy. They're there to preach the gospel and to bring the love of God, to each and every heart that they can come in contact with. So, and of course, then finally Congress has control over the legislature, which is the laws that we pass, and so these are all very important. So here's the question: how much longer are we going to cover this problem up that exists among our most vulnerable children? So how long are we just going to close a deaf ear and turn a blind eye toward the plight of these young parents? And it's not just, by the way, the young women that are distressed. it's also the men that they're involved with, their families, grandmothers and grandparents, and they've got a host of other situations. Some can't continue to go to work, babysitting issues, fun, just being able to feed themselves and their babies. And there are a whole host of issues here. And then, of course, that spills over to the school districts. We've got trying to maintain sizable class numbers, for example, for the teachers to be able to manage and offer good services. And then you've got trying to take care of the other types of personal and medical needs that society has a need of, basically. So the idea is, or the question is, how long is it going to take before somebody decides, we can do something else, we can do better than what we've done so far? And so this is what has come to the mind and to the heart of Dr. Jackson. And so that kind of leads us to a couple other things. Let me give you a little more thorough history here of, I should say, Dr. Jackson's history. Basically, he already talked about that he's already was in the Army, and of course he went to Korea. And of course, he's also a graduate of Columbia University. In 2008, he completed his PhD there, in applied science and technology from Glendale University. Now, in his early efforts, of course, in trying to contribute in a humanitarian way into society, it kind of led to the precursor of what's called the V-chip technology that's used in televisions today, which allows parents to block out violent and objectionable programs that can be seen by young children. Now, that's important. I want you all to notice that Dr. Jackson's heart is for protecting children, okay? And of course, so it's all consistent. Okay, now his love for technology, electronics, and women's right of choice has led this matter, of course, his mastermind, to direct him toward inventing something that would solve the problem. So now, nationwide, we're looking at, like we mentioned before, 2.1 million aborted pregnancies that can be reduced by using this product. So now, what is exactly the product? That's the question, right? So the question, first of all, the product is called FemChoice, right? And basically, what it is, it's a device that allows young girls to track their periods and other adult women to be able to determine when they're fertile, so that they can either avoid pregnancy or plan the pregnancies, based on their family backgrounds and their desires. All right, so I'm going to let Dr. Jackson go into a little more detail with regard to the FemChoice system and the devices attached to it, and then I'll ask a few questions after that.
Yeah, my latter two patents deals with fertility prediction and cycle prediction, okay? The fertility prediction system is designed primarily for women of childbearing age. And what does it ask? They simply put three things in: the period information, when it came, how long it lasts, and what is a cycle, okay? Now, when we look at cycle, normally most people look at every 28-day cycle. We look at 26, because some women are normal every 26, 27, 28 being the medium, 29 and 30. And then the length of period 1 through 8 days. Three things: when it came, how long it lasts, and what is the cycle. Simply put this into the system, and then it automatically calculates and sets up a calendar on the screen of your desktop, your tablet, your smart cell phone, and it tells you on that calendar what days you will have ovulation, what days your period is going to come, and then every month it refreshes itself. Now, roughly 85% of the women can use this. There are women with 2 or 3 periods a month that we can't quantify. Then we can't do very much for those ladies. But the ones that we can quantify is roughly around 85% that can use this system. It's used to pinpoint the ovulation time. So if a woman is trying to get pregnant, it lets her know the optimum time every month. If she's trying to avoid pregnancy, it lets her know the vulnerable days, okay? And it's all a color code. She learns that in 5 minutes, and now she's got it, and this thing can help her. When she uses our system, there's no need for birth control pills, IUDs, diaphragms, Depo-Provera shots, patches, implants, or anything that carries dastardly side effects that's sold or that has been prescribed by physicians. This is a total alternative method that the woman of childbearing age can use. If she does not ingest anything or have anything invasive in her body stays normal, and then she can actually read this whenever she likes, because it's there for her, and then she can know how to deal with her body's natural rhythm. Now, when we look at the cycle predictor, this is primarily for young pubescent girls. When we say young pubescent, we're talking about 9 through 16, okay? Now, that program is designed to let her know we don't deal with the ovulation portion. We just let her know every month ahead of time when her mens is coming, so she can prepare and not have embarrassing accidents and so forth, okay? And coupled with that, I worked with Los Angeles Unified School District for about 4 years. They were the beta site while I was designing this system. So it was been well vetted in that they wanted a comprehensive program that they could use as a teaching tool for their growth and development for 5th and 6th grade girls. So we went further, not just quantifying when her cycle would come, but also adding other important information about the birds and the bees, okay? So now we have a comprehensive program that covers all aspects of what's happening to a young girl at the onset of puberty. Also to include STD prevention and just everything that actually covers. So this young lady, by the time she gets out of the 6th grade, she is well equipped with parents and teachers vetted information that will allow her to be able to grow without getting herself into the problem. And that's the whole thing is we look at abstinence as being the primary thing that we'd like, okay? But we also have to cover all other aspects just in case. So this is a program that's comprehensive that deals with that whole aspect of what it is. So we're going down 2 paths. We have a system for women of childbearing age, and we have a system for the young pubescent little girls. The system, like I said, will be in the cell phone, and we're also making a little handheld model that's battery operated and solar operated that we intend to people for ladies and little girls that may not want it in their cell phone. They can have this in their carry it around in their purse, and it'll do the same thing. But in designing this, we also have to think about the third world. Okay, we have in the third world, we just have domestic numbers that are the COO just outlined the domestic numbers we have here. But now, if we started trying to look at the numbers in South and Central America and in Africa, the numbers will boggle your mind, okay? So now, our country gives foreign aid to these countries every year, and there is a population control component that's tied to this foreign aid. Well, we intend to get FemCharge product involved in this foreign aid product at a very low cost. And now these people in Uganda and Zimbabwe and various other places in the village, could get this low-cost little device that's solar operated, and then they could use this to family plan. It's very simple to use. As I mentioned, 3 things you put in. When your period came, how long it lasts, and what is the cycle. It calculates, sets that calendar up, and you can look at this, and it will be accurate as long as the calendar is accurate, okay? And this whereby will enlighten and enhance women in being able to plan for themselves without taking the dastardly side effects type of contraceptions and systems that are out there now, and then unwanted pregnancy can be deterred. Okay, so we don't have the backroom abortions and all these things, because prevention. If you're educated, then you know what to do. And what we're doing is, now that we have it in Los Angeles Unified School District, in a letter of endorsement, they've purchased 400 units from me, and then give us a letter of endorsement. They're the second largest school district in the country. We intend now to go across the country with this system, okay, and thereby educating these young students in 5th and 6th grade, okay. So this is what Film Choice Technologies is gearing up to do. And so that's pretty much the story initially about Film Choice.
So I have a question, Dr. Jackson. Now you were talking about LAUSD's involvement.
Yes.
And generally speaking, dealing with the school district, they tend to be they tend to try to control, should I say, everything. You know, especially with regard to the students themselves, the children. They want to make sure that everything is pretty much under their jurisdiction, so they can basically manage and monitor what goes on.
Yes.
Because they're ultimately responsible.
Yes.
So now, but what's the role of the parents? I mean, how does this work with parents and children and the parents' relationship to the school? How does that work?
Well, when I was, as I mentioned, they were the beta site for us, okay? When I first went there and I took my program, the associate superintendent, in his office, I was just demonstrating it to him, and he said, "Hold up a minute, Dr. Jackson, let me call my ladies in." So we called the female ladies, staff in, and had me start over. And I started over, and about 5 minutes into my presentation, the head lady says, "Dr. Jackson, where was you at when I was a little girl?" Okay. So once he heard that, he picked up the phone and called the director of nursing for LA Unified Schools. 2 weeks later, I was sitting in a boardroom in LA Unified with all 9 coordinators for all of the 336 schools in LA Unified, the administrator, nursing administrator, and the director of nursing, demonstrating this program. Now, they tore it from one end to the other and added this and added that. So after 4 years, we have come up with a comprehensive program that has been vetted by them. When I say vetted, the parents, teachers came in and they had their say, and they looked at it because we didn't want to put out anything that would cause any ire of the parents. And then the Film Advisory Board in Hollywood, Film Advisory Board came in and they got involved, okay? Now, when you look at the Film Advisory Board, why are they involved? Well, they're the ones that put the R's and X's on the movies, okay, and deals with parental control. So they don't want a whole lot of stuff to get out there that they don't want the parents to be able to, So anyway, so with the Film Advisory Board giving us an award of excellence that is on all of our products, to let everybody know that it has been vetted by the Film Advisory Board. Okay, so that's pretty much going to LA Unified, getting this done, and they're getting behind us. Well, since they're the second largest in the country, only New York is larger, we figured, well, we'll use this as a stepping stone or as a domino to go across the country, teaching this same technology to schools across the country. And then now that we put this together, we're now gearing up to go across with technology now that can be instantly in any country around the world. There's no reason why we can't get this technology around the globe to solve this pervasive problem. Okay?
Well, Dr. Jackson, how would these people know how to get a hold of you?
Okay.
They're listening on the air right now.
Okay. They can contact my COO. He will leave a number for them to contact. And if you want to email me, very slowly, it's easy to remember this. My first name is Joseph, right? So Joe Invent, and then put an R behind the T, joeinventr@aol.com. And you'll get me, okay?
Well, we thank you so much for showing in this product, and I'm sure a lot of people's opened up a lot of people's eyes, especially the young folks. Mm-hmm. And we do appreciate it, and throughout my show, I will still be pushing it for you.
Okay.
Dr. Jackson's a good friend of mine, and we go way, way back. Both of us retired from the military, and we still talk about the good times.
Yep.
So we thank you for listening at this program. You can catch me every Tuesday here from 5 to 6. Or either you can see the same program, just click on remcgospel.com and hit replay on YouTube. Then you can pick the same program up this afternoon or tonight, whenever. and all these fine inventions and wonderful people here. And we're so glad that Evangelist McCullen finally made it. She got lost, but we thank God that she finally made it. But we thank you for everything, and so you can catch me again this coming Tuesday on the same station, same program from 5 to 6. This is Pastor George Crout, Word of Faith International Ministry. God bless you.
Let's have a good time. All we gotta do is get cheap. Gotta get Jesus on your mind. Listen, everybody. We gotta get with one accord. Jesus will be there. You can count on love. Thank Him because you do. Praise Him because you. Come on, let's have a good time. Come on, let's have a good time. I wonder, could I say it again? Come on, children, let's have a good time. All we gotta do is get Jesus. Gotta get Jesus. Listen, everybody, we gotta get with one accord. Jesus will be there. You can count on love. Thank Him because you do. Praise Him because you. Come on, let's have a good time. Come on, let's have a good time. I got one more thing I want to tell you. Somebody's here, sitting here today. They won't do nothing, ain't got nothing to say. But if I were you, I wouldn't cheat myself. If they don't want to go, I can't wait for nobody else. Thank Him because you do. Praise Him because you. Come on, let's have a good time. Come on, let's have a good time. Come on, let's have a good time. I want to ask you one more thing. I want to ask you one more thing. Did you come here to have a good time? Did you come here to have a good time? Well, do you really want to have a good time? Do you really want to have a good time? And do you know you can have a good time? How many know you can have a good time? How many know you can have a good time? God wants you to have a good time. God wants you to have a good time. Now if you really want to have a good time, now if you really want to